Alright, so welcome everyone. Welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Now this is not a version that a lot of you will have seen. This is the very first public release version of KSP. This is version 0.7.3 and it was released on the 24th of June 2011. Okay, so here we are on the Space Center overview. Now this is a little bit different compared to the one we have in future versions. There's very little here. There's only basically two buildings. There's no tracking station, no astronaut complex, no office building, no mission control. And there's no spaceplane hangar or runway. All we've got is the launch pad with a launch tower. And obviously in future versions this was taken out, the tower, and it was never actually put back in for some reason. And we've got the VAB, which is here. This is the original VAB. You actually still find this somewhere in Kerbin as an anomaly. So we'll head in and we'll take a look around. Very, very limited amounts of parts though. We'll take a look at the parts first and we'll put something together. Okay, so we've got the command pod. That spawns automatically as soon as you head into the VAB. Familiar, but also pretty different compared to the VAB we know. Because there's no Kerbonaut complex or astronaut complex, you don't be crew to your crew. They actually spawn Jeb, Bob and Bill. There's no Valentine in this version. They actually spawn in the command pod once you head out to the launch pad. So we've got a very limited amount of parts. We've got propulsion, which gives us a tank, a single tank. And there's a cost there, 550, I had to look twice then. There's no mass indication now. We've got a single liquid booster, LV-T30. Again, there's no mass and there's also no thrust information. We've got a single SRB, RT-10, which is still in the game. 450, again, no thrust information. And then we've got command pod, which is just started with. This spawns automatically, as I said. An SES module. SES module doesn't work the same way as it does in future versions. You have to hold down the F key, and there's no maneuver hold. No sort of maneuver node hold. No retrograde, no prograde hold, nothing like that. You have to hold on the F key and it doesn't work anything like the same way. Well, we'll see that in a moment. So we've got structural and aerodynamic. Got a radial decoupler. The stack decoupler. And we've got the tri-coupler. Now we've got the moving AV-R8 winglet. We've got the fixed AV-T1. These are still in the game. In fact, pretty much look exactly the same as we've got right now in the current versions. And basically they function exactly the same way as well. Got utility. One single utility in scientific part. We've got no signs points, so there's no scientific equipment. And it's a parachute. So I think we'll stick on those on now. Just like that. And you can't create your own stage information or anything like that. You can't create your own stages or get rid of your stages or move them around. All you can do is let it do it automatically. Okay, let's put this a little bit higher. Now I know from experience from playing this before, quite a long time ago, that the engine itself, including the SRB, are quite low powered. If you put more than one tank for each engine, you pretty much are going to struggle to get off the pad. And that's if you get off the pad at all. So we've got an SRB. I think we'll try to... No, we'll get rid of that. We'll use the SRB instead. One of the biggest problems you will find if you actually have this version or download it from the squad official forums, which you can get it from, along with several future versions from this one. You'll actually find that the physics kicks in with a bit of a problem when you try using things like the orbital decouplers with SRBs. Even on the launch pad it will actually wobble, which is one of the primary reasons why Kerbal joint reinforcement came into existence as a mod. Something actually still used now. So we have no radial or symmetry attachment. It's all done by hand. So you've got to basically try and line up yourself if you want to try and use any of the fins stabilizing. Anything basically wants to be fitted radially, you're going to try and do it manually, which it's quite difficult to do, as you can see. Okay, right, I think that is it for our first attempt at getting off the pad. So we've got, well, see, we've got no decals, we've got no crew. I've already explained that. Now it's basically you've got 3 parts for propulsion, 2 parts for command and control, 5 parts for structural aerodynamic, and a 1 part for utility and scientific. Not a great deal. So head to the launch pad and see if this actually flies first. Okay, so outside at the launch pad. Now there's no need to use the throttle because it's an SRB, so it's throttle locked. So there's the VAB in 3D and a launch tower. And we've got all 3 crew. We've got Jib in the middle, we've got Bill, and then we've got Bob. As I explained earlier on, there is no Valentine in this version. And F key, you have to hold on the F key and it brings on the SAS. If you release the F key, it will turn off. So I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to put the F key on. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. You. Okay, let the spent stage go. Release SAS. Okay, and the water has the texture of, well, jelly. Yeah, there's no splashes or anything like that. and you float on the surface. Okay, so that was a successful test of the SRB, the RT-10. So we'll try the liquid booster next. Okay, so back in the VAB, I've switched the SRB for the liquid booster, the LV-T30, and one tank. Now from memory, I do remember it was actually quite difficult to get one engine to lift anything other than this one tank, an SAS unit, and the command pod with its chute. So if you try putting anything more than just the one tank, let's say we put 2 of the liquid fuel tanks on, it will not get off the pad. So I'm rather limited as to what we can do right now. Okay, let's head out to the launch pad and test this. Okay, so back at the launch pad. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. What do I want to overthrust? Okay, so here we go. SS is on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was successful. Of course, with a liquid booster, you can actually throttle back, so try and conserve fuel. Now, if you noticed, when we tested the SRB, it was actually getting fuel information remaining, as in this little bar, as we recognise in current versions. But with the liquid booster, there's nothing like that next to the engine, so we don't know how much fuel we've got left, which makes it a little bit awkward. Okay, as I was trying to explain, this is slightly heavier. And we saw that because when we released the SRB after our first test, it floated above the command pod. So the command pod's actually weighing more than the spent SRB. Which isn't what it's like in real life, because SRBs are reinforced, because the entire length of an SRB is the pressure chamber. So that's not very realistic. So we've got an SRB at the final stage. Okay, let's see how big we can make this. Actually still get off the pad. So we need another decoupler. Now, as I explained, the physics are a little bit strange in this. If we try using this with an SRB attached, or even liquid fuel boosters, they wobble on the pad. And it's actually quite bad. And in the air, it's extremely bad. Also, because we've got radial, we don't have symmetrical attachment, we'd have to try to guess and see what's level and what isn't level with each of the decouplers that we attach. Makes it practically impossible to use those, so we're not going to. Now we need, okay, I'm going to try a sustainer stage. Now this engine will not have enough power to lift itself off the pad. However, if we use one of these... hold on a second, let's try this. No. Now it's maybe uncontrollable. Yeah, it might be uncontrollable. It's just, yeah, I think we'll just try this. A bit more control or authority. Actually, no, we won't. At this stage, we won't need to. Okay, so we've got the SRB and RT10. We've got liquid fuel booster. Each with a, well, final stage or the final liquid stage is here. Then we need a decoupler. Then we need another SAS unit to make sure we've got enough command control and authority. Okay. Then try this. 1, 2, 3 tanks plus the SRB plus the liquid stage. And then 3 liquid boosters. That should give us an extra boost of TWR. Let's see if it's controllable. Okay, so we've got the command pod, decoupler, we've got the SRB, we've got a single engine with a liquid tank above it, then we've got 3 tanks with an SS unit with 3 motors at the bottom. Okay, let's see if this will actually lift itself off the pad. Okay, so we've got the 3 motors on the first stage. Let's see if this will lift itself off the pad. Something I've forgotten to do. I've got to replace the SAS underneath the decoupler from the command pod. It's a bit of a silly thing to do. I know I didn't. Oh no, the command pod's got its own, but it's very weak. Oh well, never mind. Let's see if it lifts itself off the pad at least. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Why am I not getting any fuel? These are all full. It's very strange. Oh dear me. Okay, let's decouple. Still no fuel. Oh, I see, of course. Yeah, not enough command authority. There we go. Not quite to plan. Something very strange going on with the first stage. Those engines weren't getting any fuel, which is a bit weird. Ah, well. Let's take a closer look at it. Once we get down onto the surface, that is. Okay, so I came back into the VAB. I put pretty much the same booster together, but slightly different configuration. So something tells me I have to directly connect the engines to the tanks, because there's no fuel crossfeed between this part and the part above it or beneath it. It's a bit more awkward. What I've done, I've put the SES unit back here, which is something I forgot. A bit silly. So we should have plenty of control authority. Let's see if we can get off the pad. Okay, let's head out to the launch pad and we'll try this again. Okay, so we should have more control authority this time. We'll go to about 80% throttle. Should be plenty. We've got 3 engines on this first stage. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Wow, that is pretty hard to control. Phew. Now, can we get above the atmosphere? Come on. Yes. Wow. Phew. And that's about as far as I ever got in this particular version all those years ago. Never did manage to get into orbit. You just can't stack enough stages above one another. You just can't get off the pad for anything with anything larger than we've just tried. Which is a bit disappointing, but the next version came out pretty soon after. Yeah, that makes me laugh. You got Bill and Bob practically terrified. Well, Bob looks like he's quite tight-lipped right now. But Jeb always has a grin on his face. He loves it. So let's see what altitude we're going to get to. I don't know. 140, 150 kilometers, maybe a little bit higher. But yeah, I've never managed to get into orbit with this particular version of the game. I don't know if it's even possible. If it is, I've never been able to do it, so... Okay, so that was 174,447 kilometers. 174.44 or so kilometers. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, that. Okay, so then head back into the atmosphere. Okay, after that rather successful second attempt getting outside the atmosphere, 174.5 kilometres, thereabouts. Bill, Bob and Jeb have been fully recovered, so they're safely back on Kerbal Firma. Kerbal Firma. whatever. Alright, but that is the first public release of Kerbal Space Program. It's version 0.7.3 and it was released on the 24th of June 2011. So it's quite a few years ago, and it's quite interesting to actually see how far the game's come on. It's come on absolutely massively compared to this first version. Alright, but that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to click like. It is appreciated. Very much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. If you want to leave a comment or a question, you are more than welcome to do so. And don't forget we have Facebook, Twitter and Discord. You'll find the links to all three of those platforms on the banner on the front page of the channel. Alright, once again, thank you for watching. In the meantime, as always, take care. Bye bye.